They might be his bugs.
They might be. Why you swatting my bugs?
He's like, get off of my bridge, dude. My bugs will kill you. I'm a art school dropout. Yep, totally. I would have liked to finish art school, but by the time I had acquired all the debt and all the things that I just wasn't ready for, didn't know. Shit, I was like, never handled finances or like being a grown up, all that stuff that kind of gets some kids stuck at home for years and years. But I was like, let's go to art school. Signed up, I went to REMCAD for like 4 or 5 semesters. Was almost on the. I was so close to getting on the honor roll, just like 3.75 or above or a 4.
Right.
And that was cool. I felt real accomplished. And I had no really no clue how cool the teachers were until I went elsewhere in the art world. And I was like, man, I was so lucky that even though I didn't use everything that they were trying to put into me, they were real artists and like more into the lesson and the learning than most, because they were still passionate. They were still making art, practicing artists. Yeah. So seeing that made me realize that shit, you can do that with anything. Like if you're just passionate about it. And so I still continued to do art. Like, you don't need to learn it in the classroom. You can learn it, shit, sometimes like just get hands-on, really. So I don't know. I just kind of, while I have a curriculum for my students, I kind of just let it develop. I let them show me what they're interested in, and I kind of see that, and I just create things that I've either haven't done myself or that I've seen done. And sorry, I'm gonna spray here for a second. And it's organic that way. Yeah. Like, it teaches them that art is not just this thing that you do once. It's something you live, It's like a, yeah. And then I don't know, I try and mix in. I always put cool music on that either I haven't heard in a long time, or it's something new that I'm like, oh, that's badass. Either new or a solid classic, right? And that gets me in my zone. And just like a photographer does, you have to make your subject super chill. And I'm able to do that because I'm just, myself. And I think all the people in the community that I really reach out and affect, like, I don't know, they dig it. It's cool. I'm always getting challenged because I never know what I'm going to find in the street. I love reduce, reuse, recycle. I just say reduce, reuse, resist. Because it's what better way to put a message out than something that's accessible to everyone. Right. That's the big thing too, is I don't know, I never know how to price my art, because I'm just put in that challenge, that space where you're like you have to explain your it's almost like your catharsis. You have to explain that every time. But I don't know, it's fun. Like, especially if it's free. Like, I made a sign that got so much static. It was fun. I didn't know how like big it was at the time, but like it was pretty cool. I kind of felt it, you know, when you have a piece that moves someone like that much, where you're like, yes, I fucking did it, to where your friends are like super happy for you, and like and you did it for the art and not really the money.
Not for anything else.
Yeah,
Except that.
yeah, right. So that's hard, you know, and just art should be accessible. If you can make money, if someone wants to have it as their own, cool. And I think, I don't know, I think we're so backwards in a society where we think we have to put worth on stuff. And it's coming from the earth, you know. Here's my hippy dippy, lived in the mountains, like all my childhood life coming out now. Yeah. Like, you know, it's why can't we all just be like mushrooms? Well, eventually, you know that mushrooms are going to take us over. Like when all people are gone, that's going to be the one thing. All the mycelium that's down there. So I'm just becoming mycelium, you know? I'm just trying to leave shit for the, yeah.
I'm trying to go out on like a weird fucking limb here.
I've always had a sense of rebellion. I don't think I'm ever going to stop. And it's not because I was like, whatever, my childhood or anything. That was the coolest form of expression that really got people riled up. And I didn't really, I don't know, I love it now that I'm old and I can see back that some people are, oh, you're just excited. Well, you're not like super fucking mad that this stuff is happening? Why are you having such an adverse reaction to what I'm doing and making art about and just expressing and trying to figure out so that I can go upon my, 9 to 5 and go get a coffee, and just be cool with like, how are you not fucking freaking out about that right now? Whatever the case might be, right. Or the current event or what's happening at the moment, And I don't know. I feel, sometimes I think I exist in like multiple dimensions. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm a therapist, right. That like, I'll draw something after I had a hard fucking time or whatever. Cause shit, life's hard, man. Like, we all deal with bullshit. And sometimes, I don't know, having someone express that, dude, I know what that feels like. Totally, I'm right there with you. I'm not alone. That's really it, And that's magic. It's something about that.
Yeah, 100%.
To know that you just, I don't know, maybe someone was having a super terrible day and just wanted something you said, changed it to where they weren't going to be in a dangerous situation later. They weren't going to put themselves like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're living in a hard time where people are really just doing all they can to keep themselves mentally together. And to know that I help with that is amazing. I was kind of lucky. I almost got to like time travel, being that I was from 80 when I was born to 90. Those 10 years of technology, holy shit, the things that happened from like 82 to 90, like the compact disc used to be, you had to use the little rolly tapes. If your film in your cassette tape came out, you could put the pencil back in it and twist, all that shit. Like, we went from that to this,
They're hanging NFT gallery.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna hang invisible art, and then you buy it, and like, it's like Pokemon. Yeah. So what was I saying? Time traveling, getting to see all those eras just compiled together. It makes me think that really anything is fucking possible. Like, aliens are gonna come any second, if they are like, we've got good mushrooms. They'll come for the mushrooms, but not all this other crazy bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
For real.
You saw aliens? What'd they do? Mushrooms. They did mushrooms. They're like, imagine that. Yeah, they'd be like, yeah. They're like,
What if they just ran out up there, so they had to come down here, and they're just,
yeah, they get really active and then they'd get lazy and laugh.
yeah.
So they'd either be like sketched out and like bleep bloop bloop appearing and disappearing and shit. Yeah, that artist block. Sometimes you're just depressed and you don't know what to do any art about, or you're so happy where you're like, fuck it. I don't know. That's the cool thing about having a block. Sometimes, really, in retrospect, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I hate being frustrated over a project that I really spent time into. Once I get over 6 hours, I'm like, is this it? Am I trying too much? Like this could be it, but it was just not it with the, then I had to get the video. It was a long process, but I was just happy that, I could fixate on that for 6 hours, that I wasn't in a place of like being rushed or like feeling pressured to get a commission done, or dropping stuff off to our friend's house after we do this and have fun, all that
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
You lived through it. I think those moments really force us to develop.
Define,
Yeah, and if you might just give up on an idea entirely until something, whatever. I was talking to my therapist about this. Sometimes you give up on something as your main goal or initiative, and while you're focusing on all kinds of other stuff, those became just things that you just did. Like, you made them happen because you didn't stress too much about them. You didn't make that the issue. You really worked on yourself and your own mental health, and your goals and all the things that you made commitments to. I think that's another thing too, is artists, we have to feel really committed to an idea. I'm glad I said that because, oh, that's perfect. Just have to hit it from here. Gonna be a little fuzzy, but the sister's cool. She'll be all right. So I talk to myself a lot when I'm making shit.
Commitment to the idea?
Yeah, the commitment to the idea. That's, it comes out better because you don't worry about the finished process of it.
Right.
Yeah, you commit to your own mental health as your priority. You can do any kinds of shit you want. That block won't last long, or if it does, like, you might just get over it, like I said. But the multiverse,
Yeah.
you're just not ready for some shit. And then, look at all this cool other shit that I made. I didn't even need that now. Fuck that thing,
Yep.
But we're lucky enough to have that. Shit, dude, like, I'm 41. I've lived an awesome life. Like, if something happened to me, I'd be missed. But, like, I don't think anyone could be like, damn, they didn't live their life like they truly could have or wanted to.
Right.
I don't want that for anybody, I just want people to really do something if they feel they are in a situation where they can promote social change and positivity. And that's why I'm never going to quit as an artist. And I'm never going to sweat, why galleries aren't into my shit, or like why, I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to be famous. Maybe I'm like keeping myself not famous. Like, who knows? But Yeah, you mentioned galleries, and I start talking about, let's get famous, everybody.
In a different parallel
Yeah,
universe, you are
totally, in
famous.
another
Yeah.
universe. And, you know, I'm just telling all my psyllium friends, let's get famous. Let's make mushroom art.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of defined by what we do in the time that we have. So that's also a message I try and drive. Unfortunately, there's some that still exist just because of the fucked up things that are happening in the world. So I think there's always going to be protest art. Protest is my culture. Like if I see anybody, whatever, if they need help and someone's like oppressing them, whether it's physically or, you know, mentally, demographically, spatially, all of that. Like, I'm gonna help out. So that was cool. I was able to kind of get that message across with all the art that I brought to it, and it's cool, man. Like that's like I get to make this.
Right, dude. Big pharma taking your money.
I love how much paint this has on it.
Alright, dude.
Like,
I was just looking at
because
that.
I love that this is gonna, yeah,
A little layer of paint.
like this is gonna be a piece. Like that's the piece. That's the art. Like,
For real, though.
and that's yeah. Oh, you guys like that movie Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone can cook. Well, everyone can art.
That's it.
All right. Let's go, Globeville. Stacy's mama's got it going on. I'm gonna have a seat right here. Yeah. And if you got time too and you're not in a hurry, it's fun. Like, you gotta do that. I love that part about making public art and graffiti, that there's still that rush every time.
Literally.
That every time. I don't think,
So who's looking at me right now?
and like that's an addiction I can't afford. Feeling like you have something special in your hand is always going to be a driving force for artists, you know?